Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? We are here on the Patreon doing a gameplay video for Android 21. A lot of you guys requested this with the recent profile I put up, so I aim to please, and we are here to do a gameplay video versus Red Sin Shenron. Now, I talked about in that article that I think 21, while it is very strong and feels like a little bit unfair, or pretty unfair actually against blue decks, I do think it struggles a fair bit against aggro, so we have a Red Sin game here to showcase that. I do get to go first, which is a huge deal against aggro decks. That is really, really good. So I do the typical turn one, play a 1-drop, search, use leader effect, take a life, and look at top 5. Add any android. So I am able to add my 8-drop, which is pretty convenient. I drew an additional card by accident because misclicking on untap. But we're going to go back into Sin's turn, tap the leader to search. Just getting my clone tokens prepared for when he gets it at the end of his turn. So it looks like he had 2 Dragon Balls in life, which is kind of a good and a bad thing as the opponent going up against the Sin deck, because that means he is a little bit closer now to Z Awakening. Like, normally as a control deck, you want to slow down the pace of the game and just not allow him to get to their Z leader with any sort of speed. But now that he is down to 6 life, that's just going to be a little bit faster for him. But at the same time, it means that I can technically kill him faster, and the cards I give him off life are going to be less cards added to his hand. So he plays Oceanus here, but we're just talking in Discord. He's debating on even doing that. He decides to take back the Oceanus and go for the Sankaba play, which is something we saw at a recent regional. The highest placing Sin list, I believe, was playing Sankaba as an extra aggressor. I do combo the 8-drop because it is a free 10k combo, so I don't have to go down to 5 life. I get an extra leader activation, and I am just a little bit less pressure going into his turn because I still plan to tap out to ramp here, and that is very dangerous against an aggro deck. I do have somewhat of a plan. We'll see how it kind of works out. I am going to combo into a Sankaba just to make the Z energy because he can kill my 1-drops super, super easily. And he does get the clone token because the 1-drop at the end of my opponent's turn gives him a clone token. So I am going to tap out for the 21 here. Now, I attack with the 21 to his leader because it is a 10k critical and he's a 10k leader. Be very, very, very careful about this because some decks can kill your 21 during battle. And if that happens, like, the game's probably is over. So I know for a fact he's tapped out, can't do anything to actually kill my 21 during the counterattack step or during battle. So I do swing for the crit. He does take it and go down to 4. And I know, like, again, Sin has great board removal, so I know he's going to pretty much get my 21 off the board, my quote-unquote mana dork. So I figure I'll just attack for the critical, and if he gets rid of it, he gets rid of it. All right, so he's going to search for the 2 Dragon Balls here, and now he's going to draw 6 cards. Because, you know, seemingly if he didn't play Oceanus on 1, he probably has a bunch of Dragon Balls in hand or ways to get to them. So there is draw 6. Now we're ready to awaken. I'm at 6 life with a blocker on board. Again, Sin has great removal, so I got to make sure to use this blocker as timely as possible. But I'll talk more about that when the actual attacks start coming through. So he's going to start with the clone token attack. Now, I could have blocked this one, and in hindsight it probably would have been pretty good to block this one because I don't think we got another great blocking chance later on. But I do go down to 5 life here. He plays Nova. Now he's going to put me down to 4. I think Danny could have made a slightly different decision here because 21 cannot play blocker negates. So I think he could have maybe played his double striker and then swung with that first to try to put me down to 3 life, because then he could pop my blocker before I get the chance to block with it. That might have been something he could have done a little bit better. But he's going to play the 4-drop here and try to go for that big damage by popping Nova, getting the draw, popping my blocker. So I actually never get a chance to block here, but I did that on purpose because since he was giving me the opportunity to go to 4 life, I chose to take that. Because again, I can't play blocker negates. I can't really do much at 5 life. I would more or less be forced to take this double strike and go to 3, which I didn't really want to do. So that's why it was probably better for me to block the token in the first place. But then he still could have done the, you know, the 5 to 3 shot if he had thought about it. So he's going to go for 30k double strike here minimum. He might even add more to it, depending on whether or not he wants to add more to it. He is going to add the second super combo. So I do combo the 5k because at the very least, I want Mortals Be Gone in my hand to be online. And now I'm just debating on whether or not I want to fully combo out of this or I want to just take the 2 damage. So I'm going to Awaken and super combo and just try to get out of it. I do draw into another super combo, which is pretty clutch. So now I do have the ability to get out of this attack. Still going to cost me a couple 5ks from hand, but now I'm still at 4 life. I have my Mortals Be Gone online. I do feel pretty good about that. He's going to go 15k at my leader. This one I'm just going to use the Goku Black to get out of it without comboing 5k. In some world, I do kind of wish I just got rid of the 4-drop instead of the Nova, because the 4-drop's much more annoying to deal with on my turn. So he's going to awaken here. Swing to my leader. This one, I should just dump a 5k. I don't think he's comboing much into it. Yep, we'll combo a Pan. I'm feeling pretty good now, though, because like his turn is more or less over soon, and I do have plenty of Z energy for my Android 17 negate. If I draw another Mortals Be Gone, I'll have that. He does go in with a Kaba, though, so let's see if he pumps us up at all. Gonna go 25. Add a Deluge to hand. And he's gonna drop the Deluge. That's 35 double strike. I'm gonna Zeno. Pick up Dirty Burst since I bottom decked one before. And we're going to combo out of this one. He's going to use his leader ability in a pretty interesting way to get rid of one of my clone tokens. Technically gives me less energy to play with, although I will say, like, having played this deck a lot, playing against a deck that's not blue, there's only so many things you can use your opponent's cards as energy for. So that doesn't matter all too much, but I mean, hey, use the effect, why not, right? So I'm going Goku Black into the Sin. I'm hoping he lets it die, although if he were to combo to protect it, I could just play a number of battle cards for my Z deck and get rid of it. But I am going to be able to clear his board up via attacking here, and that's going to free me up to play my Unison. And this is really important because I need to get that draw power going. And I top deck the Secret Rare, which is just like, I'm just like, thank God at this point, because even though I'm at 4 life, I feel pretty okay. He's still putting a lot of pressure on me, so I do like that I drew the SCR for the, essential rejuvenate play later on. Charging the 3, so now I'm thinking, 8 drops coming down at some point. He is also at 3 life himself, so he can Z awaken here. So he has a lot of potential. I do have, my hand is just full of negates, so I do feel pretty okay about that, although I'm probably going to go to a pretty low hand size by the end of this turn. So he is going to elect to play the 8-drop here. And now, with all the negates in my hand, I'm also thinking, how can I keep my Unison alive? And I'm pretty sure that just involves negating every single attack this turn, which there's not going to be too much coming down. I mean, he does have the ability to play a free 8-drop off his Z leader, so I do have 4 negates for, at least 4 attacks. That feels pretty good. I am going to tap out here for the 17. This is something I find myself doing quite a bit, because a lot of times my opponent doesn't quite want to push through all of it, but I do still have the Sparking D magic to back myself up, so I do feel pretty good about that. So tapping out here feels perfectly fine. He's going to do some Sin shenanigans, take a marker off my Unison. Again, we're still trying to protect the Unison because we need that draw power going into the next couple turns. All right, so he is going to go into the Z lead and drop the free 8-drop. Again, I have plenty of negates, so I don't feel too bad about this turn, except for the fact that my hand is going to get quite low. But his hand's also at 7, so we're at a pretty comparable game state here. He did bottom deck a card to swing with that 8-drop. So we're looking pretty decent here. I have the energy open for the next negate, which I definitely need to negate his Z leader swing, whether it goes in my life or my Unison. So that's pretty much getting negated no matter what. He's going to go into 4-drop here. I do wish I had the Android 18 counterplay, but unfortunately I do not. I will end up negating this. And I remember I comboed the 18 counterplay earlier because I just didn't think I was playing my Unison in this game. I thought I was going to have to be in a position where I had to leave up more energy for defense, but with his board state on my 4 energy turn, I did think it was safe to play the Unison, and I think I was somewhat proven right just by all the negates I have in hand. So I am going to just use the Dirty Burst, because I know his turn is pretty much over. He can't play Overwhelm in his deck. So that should wrap up his turn. And again, we're counting our lucky stars. We had the SCR in hand. A lot of stuff went right this game, like him having balls in life, which again was like kind of a double-edged sword. Could be good, could be bad for us. Hitting the SCR, really good here. He's going to go ahead and swing with a token. And the reason he's doing that is because even though he bottom decks a card, he wants to resolve his activate battles on his Sins, which he could have waited until his own turn to do that for like me attacking with any given battle card, but he didn't know that I had SCR in hand, right? So he made a decision to say, hey, like, if you play your board wipe, at least I got my activate battles off, because my regular 8-drop is also a ignoring barrier board wipe, so that is a relevant thing. Charging to 5 here. Unison effect, draw. Leader effect, rescan his cards and draw. Drawing double Golden Avenger, definitely not super ideal. But we are going to go ahead and pay 2 for our SCR. Use 2 of his battle cards, which is so insane just how that works. But we are getting the board wipe. We are getting 2 life back, going to 5, which now I feel extra safe. Again, my hand's a little bit low. I still have an Android 17 in hand, which feels really good. And he's at 3 life. So I'm going to pressure him here. 40k swinging in. He goes for the free negate. I go 15k at lead, not expecting him to block because obviously I have a 40k ready to go again. He's not going to block. I'm going to combo the 17 to 20k, make him pitch a 5k. He's going to use Dragon Thunder. And from here, we're going to pretty much pass turn because I have way too many 10ks in my hand to do anything else. I could like play a Z deck card, like maybe Beerus or something, but I'd rather just keep the energy open for the 10ks because I am at 5 life. So I want to stay at 5 life. I want to use my hand to defend myself, make it into the next turn. I'm pretty confident I can win the next turn if I get there. So we're going to pass. He's going to charge a Test in the Op, which, shows that he had one if I were to push any further. So this is probably a good decision just to pass on this part. And don't forget the SCR is a blocker. Now, the SCR protects itself from destruction by removing all the cards underneath it at one time. That does not get around minusing abilities. If he minuses my SCR to 0, I just lose it outright. So I want to make sure I block with this correctly. Danny's best play here is to swing battle card first because he's already seen me use Android 17 negate multiple times. He's just debating on how he wants to go about his turn. He can like do Z deck plays, although he only has 1 Z energy, so Rush Tech's not an option yet until he gets to the combo step. He's going to swing with his critical. I'm going to just immediately Android 17 negate. His leader won't be taxed, but good thing I had the blocker for that. So I've got my block off. Now if he kills my SCR, so be it. He's going to go into the 4-drop, swing into my leader, pop off his Rage Shenron to -20 my SCR. Now he can pretty easily kill it just via his leader effect. I'll combo 10k to get out of this, go to 25, stay at the 5 life total. And he didn't combo, so now he's still locked out of his Z deck. His only real play here is 8-drop. Which like strongly telegraphs his energy. And I can take a triple strike here and not really feel too bad about it. I don't think there's another double strike he can play. No, I guess there's Sandkaba, so there's that. But he's going to play the 8-drop here. And he's going to choose to tap out for the Oceanus. So as soon as he does this, I know that he can't kill me, basically. If he would have left the 1 open, I probably would have been a bit more afraid of Sandkaba. But since he chose to give it the barrier, I know for a fact that I'm pretty much living this turn. So he's going to go triple strike at my leader. He probably should have went at my Unison, to be honest, considering he couldn't kill me this turn. Although I don't know if that necessarily would have saved him, per se, with only 2 cards in hand and 3 life. But I do have much more to work with in my hand now that he did that. So we're just getting our couple draws here. Choosing to not use the leader effect yet. And it is very important with how you decide to use leader effect because I don't want to give him free combo power. So I'm going to play Beerus first. Got barrier, so it's safe from his 8-drop activate battle. We'll go 15k into leader. We'll combo a 5k. See if he combos 5, basically. Or if he Dragon Thunders, that's actually pretty good for him. But in this scenario, he is going to combo 5k. So he's at 1 card in hand. I know for the most part it's a 5k because he's used multiple Beeruses at this point. So I'm going 25k, or sorry, 20k. And I'll combo 25k. This is the second Beerus swing. The Beerus activate main killed the 8-drop. He takes it, goes down to 2. Beerus restands for the final swing at 25k. And I'm pretty much guesstimating he has 30k combo power in hand. So I'm going to go to 30. And now we just all in on the leader swing, and that's the game. So yeah, this game was looking rough for sure. Like, some things definitely went my way. I wanted to showcase a game where this deck can beat aggro, but if I had went second against Sin, I mean, that's a really, really rough matchup. So for a lot of people who think the deck is very broken, I mean, I wouldn't say it's just like that broken, because aggro does give Zek a hard time. Like, I've been playing against Supreme Kai of Time, been playing against Gogeta, been playing against Sin, and honestly, Sin's the toughest one because Sin is the truest aggro deck of that bunch, I would say. I mean, Supreme Kai of Time is very aggressive as well, but Sin just puts out like these insane bodies and builds a big hand. But that game, we were able to take it out. I wouldn't say you're super favored against Sin. It's a matchup that we should definitely practice a lot more. Maybe the turn 2 ramp is not super ideal in this matchup, but I mean, it feels like you kind of have to do that. I don't know. Still got to work on the matchup, but I want to get this gameplay out to you guys because you guys have been requesting it. If you have any questions, drop them down below. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.